Hey everybody, we're back. It's episode 42. Ooh, spooky season.
Happy Halloween.
Say it again. Ready?
No.
Ready, go.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Go.
No.
Chime in. Bring us home. Ready? Go.
Stop.
All those music lessons, and I'm going to have to bring us home. Hold on. Where's that from?
Best movie ever.
Anyway, welcome back, guys. Episode 42.
42.
I want to know, well, I don't want to know. I want to commend I'm sure there was more of you, but only 3 of you said that you watched till the end and you watched me scare the bejesus out of Tate.
Yeah.
And I've been on a high all week because scaring is my love language. I loved it so much. And only 3 of you said, oh my gosh. And then they loved how you hit the Benjamin right at the end, trying to stay calm. It was so funny. So, hey, I just had a brain blast. Or actually, I thought of something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Before I came in here, Dason called me and she was telling me something. And she said something about a little girl and like Ohio or something. And she was telling me a story. And I was like, a what? A little girl? Because I was pulling scary stories and I got scared in broad daylight. What the hell? Oh my gosh. Anyway.
It's not, you can't see the daylight in here. We're in the studio, so you can't really.
No, but I wasn't in here.
No, oh no.
I was in my room.
Oh,
I was in our room.
That's right.
And our master bathroom has a big window. So there was a lot of light in there. And I was like, oh, a little girl, what? You know how I feel about scary stories about little kids or whatever. And I instantly got scared because I was already pulling stories in broad daylight. And she couldn't stop laughing. So anyway, fun fact.
Yeah, I just want to also say last week's episode was fun to make. I thought it was really fun. And then all the feedback that we got thus far,
it was really good.
Yeah, just reiterated how fun we had. And I was like, let's do it again.
I know. Tate's like, let's do it again. And I was like, no, we have a plan.
Yeah.
We literally have scheduled out the rest of the month, right? Because there's 5 episodes this month, not 4. And I go, we already have other things planned. And then he's looking at me and I go, we could do, instead of doing more stories of our own or pulling stories, we could use our little ants, our little babies. We could use your stories because a bunch of you shared your ghost encounters. And I said, holy shit, we have enough to make a whole episode out of them. So guess what?
Bang.
We're going to share your stories. And there was 2 short stories. So we're going to share those. And then we have several of your ghost encounters. And they're actually really good and kind of scary.
Yeah, super interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
We loved reading them. They were so fun. So before we get started, we're going to do our secret handshake. For those of you on Spotify don't know what we're doing, go to our YouTube and you can see it. And we will get started.
Yeah,
I'm
do it.
excited about this. Okay. But before we get into your fun stories, your user submitter, our family, you guys submitted stories, we want to make an announcement at the beginning of the pod for how important it is to vote.
Yes.
We are several days out from voting, and however you vote, you need to exercise your right to vote. There's so much at stake this election. In the history of voting, this is probably the most important time to vote.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
This election, for sure.
Yeah, so, and like Tate had mentioned on the last podcast, you guys, your vote does matter. Your vote does matter. I've been reading and keeping up on things, and there have been folks, really, really good folks who lost their election last cycle from like 200 votes. Can you imagine losing an election 200 votes? And I'm not talking about the big show, the presidential. I'm talking about local and state.
Sure.
Elections.
Yeah.
Okay. So vote all the way down the ballot. Some people, I saw this study the other day that said only like 20%, less than 20% of people vote all the way down the ballot. And if you don't know what that means,
I believe it.
That means people just vote for the president and the vice president, and then that's it. They don't go all the way down. But guess where all the decisions are actually made before they get up to the top?
Yeah.
It's from the bottom up. Okay.
Right.
So everything underneath the president and the vice president all the way down, you need to know those two.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example of why you need to vote. And I think I mentioned it on a previous pod, but I'll bring it up again. We live in California, and weed, right? Cannabis, the devil's lettuce, however you want to call it, was on the ballot to become legal.
It was.
And it failed a bunch of times in a bunch of other election cycles. But this last one, or the one before it, I can't remember.
I want to say it was the one before.
The one before it. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. And so not just because people want to partake for funsies, but it's really good for cancer patients and their pain.
The medicinal
side of it. And it's also very important because people are in prison for having joints in their pocket. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a whole thing. But I use that example because I know it got your attention. And if you live in a state that's not legal in, but it's on the ballot, go vote. Maybe make that your catalyst for voting, right? But it's very important. Women's rights, LGBTQ rights. Oh, by the way, happy coming out day. Woo woo. Right? We love our LGBTQ plus babies. So this is your day, so happy day. But it's very, very important, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, because that's where we're all at, as like when it comes to voting for the people under the president and below, right? Like that's where we're literally at, right? Like we're not like I know how the thought process. Well, I'll just pick the president; they're fine. You know, I don't need to vote for the rest because they're all going to come with the same people, right? But to understand how we get there, that's where we're all at. That's where most of our impact is.
It's at the ground level, right? So let me give you one more example. In the state of California, that's on the ballot now, that's going to be on the ballot for us in California, is rent control. Okay, New York already has it, and I'm sure there's other places that have it. Not many states have it. And the number one thing you kids, and when I say kids, everybody that's watching, you guys are saying it's so we can't afford to live in an apartment. You know what I mean? Or we can't have childcare, right? So important things like that are on the ballot this time. So make sure you guys vote all the way down the ticket. Okay, not just for the big show, but everybody underneath too, and read up on them because sometimes they say, "Oh, vote on this prop," and then this proposition. But it's like worded in a way where you think it's good and it's really not. So do your due diligence. There's websites out there too. We'll put one up here for you guys to just go and just see, pick your state and it'll tell you everything. Kind of like a Cliff Notes.
Yeah, and it makes it easy for you.
Or Spark Notes.
And it breaks down each ballot.
Exactly.
It breaks down everything.
What it means and what it doesn't mean.
Yeah, so simple. And you just read it real quick. Okay, yes or no. I mean, it's like...
And
quick.
Then I want you guys to tag us in your posts with your I voted sticker.
Yeah,
okay?
that'd be cool.
We would love to see that. So don't forget to vote. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Back to our topic.
Back to regular scheduled programming, guys. We are in spooky season, and we switched it up. We can pivot like that, you know. And we are going to actually read your stories that you guys submitted on YouTube. And I'm really excited about that. So, okay, let's get into the first one. This is, I have two short stories. So let me go over short stories.
Okay.
This is from Soccer Bopper 124. And by the way, I did try to look up everybody's real name, your government name. 9 times out of 10, you don't have it. So you get your handle, right?
Soccer Bopper.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Soccer Bopper. Okay. This person said, I've only had 2 premonition and both were about babies. I had a dream my cousin was pregnant and text her and she was 9 weeks pregnant and hadn't told anyone.
Wow.
And then the other one was I had a dream that my friend's fiance had her baby 3 weeks early and she did. Dreams are so cool, but so freaky. So I have a story about babies, about that. When we were pregnant with Donovan, I had this crazy wild dream that I was having a boy and we hadn't found out yet. We out of all 3 kids, he was the only one I actually wanted to find out. Right? I'm too old for shit. The excitement's gone. I want to know what he is, what this baby is, the sex of the baby is. And so I had this crazy dream that we were having a boy and I was holding him like this and I was combing his hair to the side, right? Like I made a little side part and I was combing his hair and he was wrapped in like a little baby blue blanket. And I woke up and I was crying because I was like, it was so real. You guys ever have those dreams?
Yeah.
where the dreams are so real
Yeah.
that you actually believe they happen.
Yeah.
And I was crying because I was like, it's so real. I just have a feeling it's going to be a boy. And guess what? It was. And guess what? He had long enough hair. And I would comb it to the side.
Yeah.
Like a little.
It happened.
Like a little gentleman to the side. Huh. The kids still talk about that. And I always tell my son, it's like our little thing. And I was like, I've waited for you my whole life. And I knew you were coming. And he's like, all right already. So. I
had a dream when I was a kid. Have you ever... Before I explain the dream, have you ever fell asleep like on your arm and then your arm falls asleep and then when it starts to come back, the needles?
Yeah.
So it feels like it's like needles?
Yeah.
Right. So I was taking a nap. I think I was a kid. I can't remember how old it was, but I know I was young. So I remember sleeping and something was chasing me in my backyard. I don't know what it was, but something was chasing me. I was running like crazy. No. And then I tripped and I fell in the grass. And then whatever it was that was chasing me ended up in the ground. And then there was a hole right in front of me. When I fell on the ground, there was a hole right there. And then I don't know why, I stuck my hand in it. And then I felt it bite it. Something bit it. And then I woke up and then that's when I was sleeping on my arm and then the needles. So you know what I'm saying? So like in the dream, something was biting me and then I woke up, something is biting me. But it's the needles when you...
Oh, it was just your arm.
Yeah, because it fell asleep and then the needles. And then I was like, and I grabbed my arm.
Yeah. How old were you?
I don't know, but it was so real. You know what I mean?
Damn. You know what? Have you ever... let me ask you another question. And you guys chime in. Have you ever had a dream that a significant other was cheating on you? And then you wake up and then you're fucking pissed? I have. Raise your hand. I have. How many times have I done that? A lot too, by the way, because we've been together forever. I woke up and I'm like, you were cheating on me. And it's even worse if it's someone you know. It's like a friend. Yeah. You were cheating on me with so-and-so. And you're like, it was a dream. First, I cry. I'm like, I had a bad dream. I had a dream that you were cheating on me. He's like, it's not real. I'm like, I know, but you know what? You know who it was? And then all of a sudden I get mad. And then I'm mad the whole day. And he didn't even do anything. Do you remember those?
I do. But what does this have to do with...
I'm just saying it's a dream.
It's a premonition.
It's not a premonition.
It's not a premonition.
No, but we talk about dreams. This is how my brain works. I had a brain blast. And I want to talk about how I get mad when I have a dream that you're cheating on me and then I'm mad at you all day. Or that you said something mean to me or you called me a name and then I wake up and I go, who do you think you're talking to? He's all, what? He's all asleep. I'm all punching you. You've never had that dream?
I never had it, but I've experienced it with you.
What? Oh my gosh. I know. It's so ridiculous, huh? I think it's mostly women that do that. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
That was a long time ago. It's not, it was long, I like recently, no. But long time ago. Yeah.
I know. He's all, recently she hasn't had one of those psycho dreams. So I'm fine, guys. You don't need to check in on me. I'm good. I can't help it. I don't know why. Chime in. I can't be the only one that does that. I can't.
That'd be funny if you were.
I know. It's all crickets. No one says anything just to fuck with me. You guys suck. Where are my people at? Or have you ever had a dream where like someone dies?
Yeah.
And then you wake up crying, like physically crying.
Yeah. I had a bunch of those.
You know how many times, you know who has those all the time?
Who?
Is Drew.
I didn't know that.
And not necessarily that people die or someone gets injured or whatever. And then she'll like call me in the middle of the night.
It's something sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those. Maybe she gets that from me. I don't know.
Probably.
I always have a bunch of those.
All the fun ones come from me. Just kidding. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Okay.
Okay, this is the short story, number 2. And this is from Michaela. And please forgive me if I'm butchering your last name. But it's Lapuaho? Lapuaho. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sounds right.
Spell it out phonetically in the comments if I did that wrong. So, they said, my aunt woke up in the middle of the night to a static TV. Okay. Less than I was just gonna say that. less than an inch away, she's about to press the power button and it shuts off by itself. No.
What?
No. Michaela. First of all, why didn't she use a clicker?
Yeah.
Well, maybe she had an old school TV.
Maybe. Because she said static.
I had a brain blast. Remember when we were younger and we used to have those TVs where it just, you had to click it with your hand?
We were the remote control.
We were the remote control.
I had to sit next to the speaker.
And then, I did too. And my dad would be smoking a cigarette and he'd be going, change it. Click. Change it. Click. And he'd go back. Go back to the other channel. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Leave it there.
Yeah. Hey, move. I can't see.
Yeah. Now get out of the way.
Yeah.
And then the antenna, go over there and fix the antenna.
Yeah. And then the rabbit ears, you know.
Right there?
Leave it right there. Go back. You guys might be too young for that, but if you are in our age bracket, drop a comment. I want to know who else remembers that.
Oh my gosh.
But except my dad would be like, okay, now go get me a beer. Or sometimes I'd be sitting in front of the TV, you know, your face, I'm like sides, you know, and I'm going like this, click, change it,
looking at
change
him.
it, right? But then I would be like, well, he made me do that because before I'd be watching the TV and I'd be like this and he'd be like, change it. And I'm like, just watching the TV. And he goes, and then he would take his slipper off and he would throw it at my head. Oh, he said, change the fucking channel. I'm like, oh, change it. Now go get me a beer and get out of my face. Do you remember that?
I do remember. There's no beer and cigarettes in my house.
Yeah.
But everything else was the same. I'd be stuck on it.
Yeah.
Change the channel.
I'm all watching Kung Fu. It was always Kung Fu because it was like.
Let me hit the bag. Turn the channel.
Yeah. Whatever was close. It was a slipper.
Yeah. Just
the telephone book.
It was something.
Something. Whatever was in close proximity. My dad would just pick it up and, you know, I'm like.
You turn the channel and then you turn it, you go to hey, stay there.
Yeah. Where do you think you're going? Yeah. Then you don't even do that. And then if my cousins would come over, my dad would treat them like they were his own kids. And then he would be like, Tracy, go sit down. Go change the channel for me. You know, you go change it. And then he would go try and sit down. He goes, where do you think you're going? Sit your ass down and wait till I'm done. Ooh, okay.
I'm glad it's not me.
I know, huh? Jesus Christ. I'm all sucker. Okay, sorry, we digress.
Yeah.
Anyway, can you imagine going up and turning the TV? You're like about to turn the power button or push the power button and it just shuts off?
Yeah.
I wonder if that happened all the time when she did it or just the one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think I'd own the TV. It happened more than once. I think it'd be in the trash.
It would be out on the sidewalk, ready for pickup.
I would have bought a new TV already. Yeah. I mean, I know this. Sometimes this TV, I click it off and then
it'll turn back on.
Yeah, it'll turn back on. But I don't know what that is. But
when that happens to me, sometimes, and that was the old TV because we just got a brand new TV.
Yeah.
But the old TV would do that because I think it was on its way out. But if that did it in the nighttime or at night and you were sleeping, I'm like. I'd be waking you up so fast saying, it's time to go to bed. I don't want to be out here by myself anymore. And I never told you why, but I was like, because the fucking TV turned back on. I'm like, no, we don't do that here. Hey, knock it off. I'm all yelling at the ghost. Yeah. Knock it off. It's bedtime. Everybody go to bed.
Yeah. Go next door.
Yeah.
Get out.
I know. You know that neighbor across the street? Go haunt his ass because he's a dick. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, that's our short stories. So like that stuff's real. I wonder how many times that happened though.
I don't know. Like I said though, more than once I got a new TV.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Okay. Now let's get into the stories.
Yeah.
Because these are really good.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed by all the stories you guys told because they were scary. One of them. Remember we were standing in line at Target and I was reading one of them and I was all, I'm scared. I'm standing in the middle of Target. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so this first one comes from Yuritsa Vasquez. Mm-hmm. And she said, about a month ago, I was in the living room and my daughter, who's 4 years old, didn't want to go to sleep. And it's about 12 a.m. I'm on the recliner watching TV and she's playing with her ball when all of a sudden she stops. I'm already getting scared. She stops and looks toward the laundry room. Mm-hmm. And she said, because she has a straight shot, but I can't see it from where I'm sitting. She tilts her head and then turns and looks at me and says, that's not a monster, Mommy. and keeps playing. Doo-doo-doo. And the way my body turned ice cold, I just told her, yeah, baby, there's no monsters, and kept my fear to myself. She's like, yeah, baby, there's no monsters. She's all, and I replied and I said, it's very well known that babies and dogs can see ghosts, or like dogs and cats, they can see ghosts.
Well, remember we used to have that thing with Donovan.
Yeah. So get this. Okay. Get a load of this, guys. When Donovan was a baby, we'd change his diaper.
Yeah.
No matter where it was at. It could be in the living room. Sure. It could be in our bedroom. It could be at someone else's house. And he would be sitting there. He would just be laying there. And then, you know, on his back, we're changing his diaper. And then he would look up and then he would do this with his eyes. He'd go. Like he was following something. Yeah. Right? And then he would just start giggling. Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. He did that all the time when he was little.
Sometimes he would just turn and face the opposite of us.
And then he would babble.
Yeah, babble and talk.
Like he was talking to a ghost.
He was talking to someone. He did it he did it a lot.
Yeah. And I remember one time I went to go pick him up at my grandma's house because she was babysitting him. Yeah. And I went to pick him up and no one else was in the house. My grandma was like in her room and he was in the front because my cousin Joey was there. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he went to the bathroom or something and it was just Donovan. And then he was in his playpen standing up and he was going like this, dope, 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 dope. And like just babbling. And then he would do it this way. And then he would do it like he had a whole host of people in front of him. Sure. And he was just rapping. Yeah. And I'm like, I think that's my grandpa. Like, I think he's talking to my grandpa and my Auntie Alice. Yeah.
Well, I remember it happened so often. We called it. Oh, there he is talking to, I don't know,
the angels.
Yeah, the angels or something. We had a name for it because he did it so many times.
No, it was the angels. Yeah, I'm always talking to the angels. Yeah, and then he would do it all the time. A lot. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of when you were with that story.
Yeah, that's wild, dude.
I know.
So kids, like babies, like young kids, babies, and dogs. They can. I don't know if cats do. I think they can, but I'm not sure. But I know for sure dogs. They know where there's ghosts. Yeah. You know.
Well, going back to her and how she reacted, I was thinking for myself, I'd probably do the same thing. I probably would have played it off. Yeah, man, there ain't no ghosts in there. There ain't no monsters in there, and just be like, watching TV, like trying to forget.
Not me. I'd be like, where? What are you looking at? I'd pick her up. I'd go down the hall. What are you look? My flashlight. What are you looking? That's scary. That's so fucking scary.
What are you looking at?
Like, what? Who? What do you see? What you see? I'm telling you, man, the baby ghost stories they scared the fuck out of me. Like no. But and then she replied that she tells herself that it was because I guess her grandfather had passed away in the house. And so she tells herself it's just her grandfather just visiting.
Well, that's a great way to.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, that's. Yeah, I would say that too if I was, because I'd be scared. Well, I did say that. I'm all, oh, those are the angels. My mom, right? Yeah, my grandpa, my Auntie Alice.
We did because we never thought of anything scary.
No,
at least I never did when I saw Donovan doing it.
It scared the fuck out of me the first time I saw it, and actually the first 2-3 times I saw it, and then I was all, and then I would go like this. I'd like look slowly just in case something's right here. I'd be so scared. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway. That's crazy. Okay.
That was a cool story.
Yeah. Okay. So the second one comes from Mariah Louie. And she said, all right, guys. She said, oh, my God. All right. I got one for you guys. I used to work in an old New England inn that was built in the late 1700s. So it was obviously haunted as fuck. I was dog sitting for the family I worked for, who were the owners of the inn, and was staying in the room that was the old library in the older original part of the house. I had 5 dogs with me on a king-size bed. What a dream. If I could let my dog sleep in my bed, I would, but he won't let me. So
no, too much.
He's like, too much. On the couch, they're all like all around me. But in the room, he's like, no dogs in the bed. Anyway, she said I had 5 dogs with me on a king-size bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night to a tall male figure standing beside my bed just looking at me. Hell no.
What the frick?
Dude, I hope one of those dogs was big, because I would crawl under the dog. I would take the dog first. I'd put the dog on my face and like, don't touch me, dude. Don't even look at me. What are you looking at? Look away. So, and then she said, I looked at him, looked at the dogs who were unbothered. And these dogs, by the way, would get riled up what did she say? Get riled as shit all day long anytime someone came in the door.
Sure.
So when someone's standing there
Yeah.
and they're not getting riled up, there's something off.
Yeah.
And then went back to sleep. Wait, hold on. Mariah.
You, like, she went back to sleep?
How do you go back to
Yeah.
sleep after seeing a tall male figure
Yeah.
in your room?
Standing next to your bed.
You're like, whatever. Because what if it wasn't a ghost? What if it was an intruder? Like, what the hell? I'd be waking those dogs up, like, so that, you know, pick one up as a weapon. I'm like, what the hell? How do you go back to sleep after that?
That's crazy.
No.
I don't know how she did that.
Not even a little while. I'm up and I'm like, okay, let me start my day. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go cook food or something. I'm like, I'm not staying in that room.
Yeah.
Would you?
No, I'm done.
Dude.
Yeah. I get up. I'm up. Let's go, dogs.
But he's like, time for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Tate would be just like, oh, well, whatever. Because you're not like freaked out about stuff like that.
No. I don't think so. I mean, I've seen, I think I've seen some stuff. So
Yeah. Ugh, no.
yeah. So, and I say that, I'll be honest, I say that, and I feel kind of scared inside. Like if I was to encounter something again.
Yeah.
But
No.
I don't know.
No. That's scary. I would not go back to bed. That's insane.
No.
But she did say, I take after Tate in the way I stay a healthy amount of scared, but remain calm and just accept that whatever is happening is just going to happen and I'll be fine.
Sure.
That's how you went back to bed? I mean, I've lied to myself too, but not about that. That would not, my brain wouldn't compute that. My brain would be like, you lying sack of shit. Like, I see somebody right now and I know this house is haunted. So no, I don't know. That's crazy. But you do have a healthy amount of scared.
I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, here's number 3. Thank you, Mariah, for your story.
Thank you.
I don't know how you do that.
That's a pretty cool story.
So what you're saying is you're better than me. I get it. You know what? And
You win.
I accept it. Winner, chicken dinner. I accept that. Okay. Story number 3 is, and again, I looked for a real name, but there is no real name, so I'm going to read your handle, which is really cool. You ready for it?
Yeah.
This is from Meatloaf Creep.
Nice. I like meatloaf.
I love that. All right. This person said, The Shining is my favorite movie of all time.
Best.
Love horror thriller movies. And I'll leave my scary story too. They said, I grew up on the Navajo reservation in New Mexico. So it's a desert, it's desolate, it's fucking dark at night, just like Samoa.
Good
right?
one.
A Navajo belief is you don't go out at night because there's bad energy, and especially not on a full moon because skinwalkers are out doing their stuff.
Did you say skinwalker?
Skinwalkers?
Skinwalkers are out doing their stuff. What's their stuff?
What the hell's a skinwalker?
What is their stuff?
Is that like a night walker? Or what is it? The White Walkers?
White Walkers?
Is that like a White Walker? What the fuck is a skinwalker? Is that like someone in human form, but they're like just an apparition? I don't know.
Skinwalker.
How do you not know what a skinwalker is? You always know about stuff like this.
I don't know about that. It's on a Navajo reservation too, so I don't.
Okay.
I've never heard of it.
I'm gonna look it up. It is Navajo, and is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. What the hell? Okay.
This is good stuff, man.
Oh my God. I'm so glad I looked that up because now I'm even more scared and I'm here for it. I'm digging it. Oh my gosh.
This is cool.
Wait, let me read that again. A skinwalker is Navajo, and it's a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. So they turn into like a wolf or a bear or something.
In disguise.
But it's a harmful witch. It's not a good one. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm scared now. Okay. All right, let me go back to the story. All right, so us being teenagers go to play hide and seek. Of course you do, because, it's nighttime and you think you're invincible. They said, it's my sister, her boyfriend, his 2 nieces, and I playing. So there's 5 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. My grandma has an acre and random stuff all around the house, so we have a lot of places to hide.
Holy cow.
my sister's boyfriend is the seeker. Eventually, I get found and the two nieces get found. My sister is the last one hiding and we can't find her. We looked everywhere. We decided to split up and meet around the back of the house. I see my sister's boyfriend standing by the shack where we keep coal. It's near the back of the house. He's just standing there. So I ask, have you found my sister? He doesn't answer. I'm like, hello. I was literally like 6 feet away and I hear footsteps on gravel coming from my right. So I go to look and guess who it is?
The sister?
No, it's her boyfriend. So she's 6 feet away thinking she's talking to the boyfriend. He's not answering her.
Yeah.
And she turns to her right and it's the actual boyfriend. So who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Right? So she looks, when she looks to see the real boyfriend, she looks back and what she was looking at is gone. Okay, so let me read it again. She said, I look and it's her boyfriend. I go to look and that figure is gone. I don't know who I was talking to. It even had his glasses reflecting because remember, it was a full moon. So she could see the reflection on the glasses from the moon. Yeah. I got so scared and I was like, okay, stop. Told my sister to come out and she was hiding in a bush. I told them all what happened and we all got scared. But we learned her boyfriend had something bad attached to him because his mom did bad medicine and fucked with a Ouija board. So did the niece's mom. That's bad energy, dude.
Yeah.
That's
so what do you
why
think
that
she
happened.
saw? Was it like
Well, she saw the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a spirit of some sort, and because he has bad juju. So that's why you don't go out at night. Meatloaf creep. creep your ass back in the house. Otherwise the skinwalkers and this shit is gonna happen to you. I want to know, did it scare you straight? Did you never go out at night again? Because I wouldn't have. I would not have. That's what we were talking about, the King A saw.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So someone had said, there's all kinds of ghosts and stuff in Samoa. I don't have it with me, but they said, like whenever I hear about the King A saw in Samoa, she said, or this person said it scares them. And then I asked you, what is that?
Yeah.
But then you had two different.
There were two different things.
So you said, I've heard of the saw, but I've never heard of the King A saw.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I looked it up after we were done.
Yeah.
And I found out, and I remember now the story.
Yeah.
I just can't remember why I didn't know what King A saw until I read it.
Yeah.
Like it just came back.
Tell
to
me
me.
the story.
So anyways, the story is there's beautiful ghosts that protect villages in Samoa.
But women, like female ghosts, right?
Yeah, they're female ghosts. And there's more than one, right? And they roam the villages looking for people. Like let's just say, for example, you're a beautiful young woman and it's nighttime and you wear your hair down. They'll cut your hair.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to wear your hair up at night. You're not supposed to brush your hair at night in the mirror.
Yeah. My grandpa always told us to not brush their hair because I didn't know. So I was brushing my hair one night and he's like, don't do that. It's something. And I forgot why. So I never brushed my hair. From that day on, never brushed my hair at night.
So I don't know. Would you call those like superstitions?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a superstition, right?
And we had to cover all the mirrors at night.
Yeah. So and then there's another superstition somewhere where you can't sweep at night.
Yeah. What's that about?
Sweep at night. I don't know. Something about it disturbs the spirits or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. I just know it's not.
That's what
it's
you
frowned
remember.
on. Yeah. I remember getting hit by my grandma because I was like trying to sweep the stuff. She said, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't do that at night." All right. But anyways, back to the King A saw. So there's a couple of things. I think there's more too. I don't know them all, but just
but this story. Tell the story. Why those things are, you know what I mean? Wasn't there an eel or something? Or?
Yeah. So what I heard was she fell in love with an eel, or the eel fell in love with her or something like that, and then she took off to the other islands, and the eel followed her everywhere, and she's like, "Why are you following me?" He said, "We fell in love," and then she got scared and jumped in one of the villages, and then had the villagemen come out and kill the eel, and then so she got cursed because of the creating that want. Right, so that's the idea behind King A saw, where you don't make yourself look beautiful because you're going to create that want. Does that make sense?
That sounds like a religious folk tale or something started by misogyny.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Go be ugly. So you don't create lust because your husband is cheating on you.
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
That's what I think it's from. I don't know. Anyway. Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Well, I didn't like that story, so.
You want me to tell it?
Well, I didn't know it was going to take a turn. Yeah, you're going to get cursed and be ugly if you're out at night. What the hell? That's not something a dumb man would say. All right, moving on to the next one. Okay, this one's from, this person actually had their name up there. So, Christine Anderson. They said, I have a kind of a spooky story. I used to live in Guam. They were a Navy brat. And there are many legends there. One legend is of the, I don't know how to say this because it's, I think it's in Chamorro, but it's Tau Mona trees, special tree, okay? Which it said there are spirits in the Chamorro ancestors. So you're supposed to ask permission before passing through their land or in the jungle. And my little sister would sometimes forget. And it said that the spirits would bruise or scratch you if you didn't pay your respects. Which I believe in that shit, dude.
Yeah.
That stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she would wake up sometimes with little scratches or bruises on her arms or legs. So my mom's friend that was from the island explained that it was likely one of those types of spirits on the Tau Mona, and said she had to take her to a priest on the island who healed her. As a kid, that story is scary, but as an adult, now looking back, it's interesting and definitely taught me a lot about respect and keeping an open mind to the cultures around me. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
And Christine's picture, correct me if I'm wrong, you do look white. So for a white person to acknowledge other people's cultures and what they do, I thought that was really cool. That was my favorite part of the story, actually, at the end. You know what I mean? So, because that stuff's real, man.
No, I believe it. I think I'm sure there's something similar in Samoa too.
Yeah.
Passing through other people's land.
Yeah.
You got to make yourself known, you know, to let them know you're coming through.
The spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let them know, you know, you're coming through.
Are there anything that you can think of in particular when you were in American Samoa that is similar to that?
Well, I know one of my cousins, because, you know, in Samoa, we bury our loved ones in our front yard. So in front of my grandma's house is my great grandma. Right now, my great grandma, my grandma, and then I think I have two uncles. They've been just putting them in the front yard. So that's just the way they do it in Samoa. So it's we're very spiritual, right? Sure. So, but when I first moved to Samoa, it was just my great grandma. And I remember when we first pulled in the driveway, I asked my mom, "What is that?"
Was it like above the ground?
Yeah, it's a tombstone. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And she's there. You know what I mean? She's in the ground. Right. Like it's not like it's just
it's not like a headstone.
No. She's in there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then they built this whole little.
It's almost like a mausoleum. Yeah. But like in the front.
Yeah. And it's like raised, and then and then my grandma and them would sit on it all the time and then talk stories about my grandma and all that stuff. And so I remember when I first saw it, I was freaked out, and I told my mom, "What is that?" And then she was explaining it to me, and then one of my cousins was really freaked out, and she never wanted to sit on it. But even though she lived in Samoa, lived with my grandma, they would try to get her to sleep on it. She would never. She was just
sleep on it.
No, sit on it.
Oh, sit on it. Oh, okay.
My mom took naps on that thing sometimes. It was pretty cool. Just, you know, yeah. So anyways, my cousin, the story goes, my cousin was taking a nap, the one that was afraid to go near the grave, right?
But she wasn't taking a nap on the grave.
No, in the house.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
And the house is like right there.
Yeah.
So she's taking a nap, and then during her nap, my great grandma came to visit her and told her, "Hey, you don't have to be scared.
That's crazy.
You can come and sit on there like everyone else." And then the next day she came out and sat on it, and
that's
good.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Like dovetailing on that,
sure.
You know, my dear friend Tasha passed away last November. And within like 3 weeks, 2 nights in a row, I had dreams of, you know, because when you have friends, right, you don't always see each other, especially if you have kids, family, career, you know, your life starts getting busy. You don't see your friends as much as you would like to. But Tasha and I were the friends. We're like, if we don't see each other in a long time, we're cool. We meet up, you know, later, and then we pick up where we left off, right?
Exactly.
There's neither one of us are high maintenance friends, right? That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So when she passed, you know, I felt guilty about not spending as much time with her. Even though that was our relationship, right? She was busy too, and it went back and forth. And when I talked to my therapist, you know, I was telling her, yeah, I just feel like a bad friend. Like, did I not spend enough time with her? Because you have regret because you love that person so much. And she said, no, that doesn't make you a bad person, right? So we went into that. But 2 nights in a row, like about 3 weeks after she passed, she came to me 2 nights in a row, and she always said, you were a great friend. You were, remember I was crying? That was one of the dreams I woke up because I was really sad, and I woke up and it felt so real, like she was there. And they say when people visit you in your dreams, that's them like fixing something, right? Like righting a wrong, or like your great grandma was like, don't be afraid, it's fine. And 2 nights in a row, and I think it's because I was so upset. Like so upset. And she came 2 nights in a row and said, you were a great friend. You were a kick-ass friend. You were fine. Like we had so much fun. You were the friend that I needed, exactly how you showed up. 2 nights in a row. Made me cry. Saw both nights in a row, and I'm like, okay. And then after that, I felt better, you know?
But see how that feeling is, right? I think it's the same feeling as if it was like a ghost that scares you. You know what I mean?
No.
No.
No. That was my best friend. So that didn't scare me.
No. But I think it's under the same umbrella though. I
mean, I'm sure there are instances
some kind
that
of spirit.
they're good spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not like skinwalkers, where those are bad witches, right? Shit. And then also too, we also know that in our culture, if a turtle, like a sea turtle, comes up to you in the ocean, that's one of your loved ones that has passed, right? And so that's why I got a sea turtle on my tattoo on my forearm. And it's not done yet, so don't judge me. But with the colors of Drew's best-selling book, the cover of her book, because I wanted to commemorate the day that she became a New York Times bestseller.
Yes.
So anyway, funny story about this. Talk about premonitions. I text your cousin, and I said, hey, I want to get another tattoo. When Drew hits the New York Times bestseller, which I already know she's gonna, I would love for you to do a tattoo to commemorate that. And then he said, cool, what do you want? I said, I don't know. You have a blank slate. Just go ahead and do what you got to do and send me a design. He sent me a design. We were on tour, by the way. He sent me a design 2 days later, and it was this. It was the sea turtle with Drew, the color scheme of Drew's book in the middle of it. And I cried. Remember I told you? Because the turtle reminds me of my favorite cousin Kika and Tasha, right? And then when I was in Hawaii, 2 big sea turtles right after Kika died came up to me. So I'm like, oh my God, that's Kika, right? So he put the turtle and the book together in one. And then, like, how does he even know that? You know what I mean? He doesn't. So I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway. Well, this is supposed to be scary, not emotional. What the hell?
Well, let me share one
No.
more. It's a quick one.
No.
It's a quick one. So anyways, my mom's parents, right? So we live with my grandma in Samoa. Well, my grandma and grandpa separated, and they had been separated for a minute. And so the old man lived in Western Samoa, different island, right? Western Samoa for years. Remarried, had more kids, blah, blah, blah. And then he passed away while we were in Samoa that summer. For our family reunion, he passed away. So there was a big funeral, and in Samoa, like I think embalming is like back then when I was there, it's expensive, and so they have different ways of doing it. I can't remember, but funerals last like 2 weeks. So my mom was telling me, I didn't go to it, but my mom was telling me the story. They stayed at a hotel. They went from the hotel to the cemetery to dress my grandfather, right, for the showing. And he smelled, right, because the body's decaying. You could smell. That's a specific smell, and you know what that smell is. So the whole time they're dressing him, it's not strong, but you could still smell it. And then they're just like, man, it stinks, right? And then so they're done. Okay, and they set him up in the coffin. They go back to the hotel. My mom keys the hotel, and it smells like that inside the hotel. The exact same smell.
Well, maybe it was on her clothes.
It was in the entire room. And it was like, because my mom shared a room with her sister, and they all said the same thing. Like, and it wouldn't go away until the funeral was over.
Did they keep staying there?
Yeah, my mom. Well, I mean, they were just there to shower, but they were involved. But
no,
I'm just saying.
That's gross.
Yeah,
that's not even scary. That's gross. I wouldn't.
Why does it smell like that in the hotel room?
I don't know. Maybe it was a terrible hotel room.
He was there.
Yuck. I would not stay there. I would sleep outside. Nobody wants to smell a dead body. Ooh, bleh. Anyway. Okay, let's keep going. So, story number 5. This is from Dulce Dragon, and they said, sharing my wholesome ghost story. I used to work at a gym where we had someone die in the sauna in the 90s, and I felt him stuck in there. So I guess they felt their spirit stuck in there.
Sure.
He wasn't malevolent, but had a wicked sense of humor. So she's saying he was a good ghost. He would make yoga balls spin alone and open all the men's lockers after I'd closed them all. And I would close the gym, so I'd be alone during these antics. Eventually, I got used to it, but the wildest thing Jack did was steal my building keys and send me on a wild goose chase for an hour after closing. And after an hour after closing, that I feel like protected me from something happening on my way home. So that's kind of cool. The fact that you even think that. I wonder what it was. I wonder if there was an accident and you're like, oh, that could have been me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you left 5 minutes earlier.
Exactly.
Right?
Or an hour earlier.
Yeah.
She ended up finding the keys upstairs somewhere she never went. And she was pissed because eventually I got used to his tricks and would even say things to him like, not today, Jack. Or, ha, good one, Jack.
Yeah.
You know? And then she followed it up with another story that she remembered and said, another Jack story, a trainer didn't believe me about the haunting until one day I told him to stay after closing and asked him to go check the men's locker room since Jack likes to mess around the most in there. The trainer comes back like, hey, there's someone still showering and we have to wait to close up. So I impatiently go in there to tell the guest, we're closed and please finish up. Well, there was no one in the shower. And then she said, I knew Jack liked to turn on that specific shower to mess with me. So I said, you could have just turned it off, dude. And with the trainer, and then she said, browner than me, a person of color, looks at me pale and sickly says, I distinctly saw 2 legs under the shower curtain. I know I saw someone. And then she said, the trainer was like you, swole, 6'6", big linebacker looking kind of guy. And the way he refused to turn off the water made me laugh so hard. She said, I almost peed myself. Reminds me of the way this episode finished. So basically he got the shit scared out of him like I scared you in the last episode. And if you guys didn't see it, go back and watch it. It was at the end. But that's crazy.
That is crazy. That's a cool story, man.
That's a cool story. If I saw legs under there and there was no one in there... Yeah, I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice.
The whole time I'm like, what is this night at the museum type shit?
That's crazy. I would be so freaking scared.
Yeah.
No.
I'd probably just be like her.
Yeah.
Like, just be tripping out on it.
Just be like, Jack, we talked about this. And then that makes you look like a psycho because there's no one there.
Hey, turn that fucking shower off, man. Knock
it
off.
I got a date. What the hell? Don't be a cock blocker.
No shit.
I got shit to do, Jack. Jesus. Hey, man, turn that off. Nope, not turning that off. Big old buff trainer. He's like, you're out of your mind. He's like, get over there, you big wuss. That's pretty crazy. These are such good stories, you guys. Thank you for submitting them.
I know, man.
Even though you didn't know I was going to read them. I'm excited about that.
Share more if you have more.
I know.
It's so cool.
If it were up to Tate, he would just tell us scary stories like
I know, man.
the whole time.
They're so cool because I like them. And I honestly believe in them.
I 100% believe in them. But do I want to encounter them? Probably Probably not. No, thank you. I'll pass. That's why I said, like, I talk a good game. I love being scared. I like scaring people. Only when it's fake. Only when it's fake. Only when I know it's not real. It's a movie. It's a haunted house. Like a funsy haunted house. Like you pay to go in a haunted house. Not like my house is haunted. Not like that. Because that shit's scary. I believe in that stuff.
I know. I believe in it, man. But I think it's cool.
I do believe in like Teffy. Like she's literally a witch. Like she's a good witch. You know what I mean? Like she can do stuff. You know what I mean? No, she really can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She could put a hex on you. So don't ever be mean to Teffy. But like that stuff doesn't scare me. That stuff like makes me feel safe. Like when you can talk to your ancestors.
Yeah, just like you were sharing about Tasha.
Yeah, exactly.
That stuff makes you feel safe.
Exactly.
Not like the other stuff. I know what you mean.
Yeah, like because when Kika first died, my cousin, when she passed away, Drew had a really vivid dream of Kika visiting her. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Dason did too.
Yeah.
And it was within like a month of her passing, right? And then nothing for me. And I was like, oh, is that how we're rolling? And then I get mad. She's not even here anymore. I'm like, oh, really? And it wasn't until like almost 8-9 months later.
Weren't we in Hawaii?
No, it was the day before we left for Hawaii.
Okay.
I had a dream about her and I woke up crying because I was so happy. Like she finally visited me. Then we go to Hawaii. Yeah. We're driving to the beach. We just went for a hike. We're driving to the beach. The car in front of us said Keeks. It said Keeks. And that's what we used to call her for short. We should have called her Keeks. And I was like, I had the thing last night and then now this. And then it was kind of making me, because I didn't really grieve. Sure. You know, it was during COVID. So it was during lockdown. We couldn't go to her funeral, in person. We had to watch it online. And so that happened. Then we go to the beach and we're in the water and a giant sea turtle comes up right by my feet. Like a giant, like bigger than this sign. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then I knew what it meant. And then it swam away. And as it's swimming away, a giant one, another one comes right up to me. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then I cried. Yeah. And then I'm like, am I just drunk? Because I already was like 6 cocktails in the ocean. And I was like, I think it was just like
everything. The
inhibitions were lowered because I was like feeling relaxed and had my cocktails or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you having those experiences. Yeah. One after the other. And then it's just, you understand it. You know what it means. And then it overwhelms you.
Yeah, super overwhelming because I'd never cried. I never, up until that point, you know. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I know. So those types of encounters don't scare me. It's the ones where the guy's like, I'm working the night shift and I'm looking at the monitor in the cellar and there's a face just looking at me. That shit scares me because that's real. You know what I mean? No, I'm getting all like my heart's all right now. But anyway, those are our ghost stories. Yeah. Yeah. Those are your ghost stories that we got to tell. So thank you for sharing those, you guys. Thank you. And I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, it's just fun. This has turned into a great month of recording.
I know
these episodes because they're very interesting to me. Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of you guys are saying, "Are you going to wear costumes?" We're wearing Halloweenie stuff, but if you guys saw our garage, and do I have costumes? Boy, do I! But do I know where they're at? No, they're buried in the garage somewhere, and so we're trying to pull them out a little by little. So stand by. We'll at least have one episode with costumes on. Yeah. So, but anyway, thank you guys for joining.
Thank you for joining.
We love you guys. Thank you for posting those stories because they were awesome. Yeah. And
keep them coming.
I know Tate's like, let's just do a whole month of scary stories. But we did get some great feedback from you guys saying that you guys love these scary stories. Yeah. So, that's it for us today. That's episode 42.
42.
Don't forget to vote and make sure you're kind and happy coming out day for our LGBTQ plus peeps. We love you guys. We're happy you're here. We see you.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah. And that's it. Happy Halloween.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Testing. Test. It's
so annoying. What are you doing?
There's a song in my head.
Do you have? Why don't you drink some? Your mouth sounds dry.
What's that mean?
I can hear that. You hear that?
I don't hear it.
Hey, if I don't tell you, no one's gonna tell you. So.
All right.